Namaste, everybody.
Radhe Radhe. Namaste. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, we're finding our level. It's technology, right?
We're gonna be switching stuff around soon.
Yeah.
But this is what it is at the moment. So
Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
I'm setting up the watch party. So
I guess I'll do a little talking. So right now it is Purvaphalguni. Most of the day it was Maga, and then it switched over to Purvaphalguni. So I did some pictures. So Davey did some collages with some art. But I did some pictures, so I'll show. We're on simulcast between YouTube and Facebook Live. So this is Maga Nakshatra. So what I did with this one is I got them both now. So what I did with this one is these are the Pitters, or the forefathers or ancestors, which I was talking about last time. This is the symbol for Maga. This also is a symbol. It's a crown. And then Magha means in the early Vedas, there's a name for Indra, which means it's called Maghavan, which means Lord of Clouds. So I put a Magha or cloud. And then this is a throne, which is also a symbol for Magha. So this is how I drew Magha. I figured I'd just put like some spirits for the ancestors. I didn't really know what to do with that one. And then this is for today's nakshatra. And this one is called Purvaphalguni. So with this, I have the symbol is a couch. So I put a couch. Sometimes they say it's a hammock. I put or a couch. So the deity is Bhaga, or the dawn, and also Shiva Linga. So I put the Shiva Lingam on the couch. And this is the symbol for Purvaphalguni, and the nakshatra is ruled over by Venus. So these are the so this is my little artwork that I did. I think it's pretty good. So this is our little exercise of doing this. Eventually, how many days do you think we got left? Like
of what?
Doing these.
Oh, you mean going to?
Yeah, to have
full circle.
Yeah, to come full circle.
Well, you did that one. You did mine first.
Yeah, Uttara Falguni we started.
Uttara Bhadra.
Uttara Bhadra.
So it's
about
like another
halfway.
3 weeks.
Yeah, no? I think we're about almost halfway.
Almost there. Halfway. Tomorrow it'll be halfway.
Yeah,
tomorrow is the opposite.
Right.
The opposite.
So tomorrow we'll be halfway done.
With you did one every day.
Yeah.
And I did one most days, but then I started doing the collages. I like doing the collages better. I do better with graphics.
Yeah, well, we all have our nature, you know.
Yeah. So, if I don't see anybody on yet, but if anybody comes on, all right. Well, we won't say that. Anyway, right. So what do we want to talk about? Maga.
Right. Well, so how was your Maga today?
Well, it was good. It was interesting. Leo is the 6th house from my moon. And it's the 8th house from my rising. So there was a lot of social unrest. Is the way I'm gonna put it. Right. Like I dealt with a lot of people's kind of like a little bit of like drama and dealing, but like in a good way, like nothing just like issues. And then I had a few people tell me that things were revealed,
Mhm.
um, kind of things that were kind of under the surface or hidden became revealed in the since yesterday.
Right.
And that seems to be a theme, like after the new moon and Mercury going direct, and just everything else supporting that. Everything else that's in the background astrologically. And I found myself talking about my grandmother
Right.
randomly, like without thinking about it. So I see the effect of when we focus on the nakshatra and the symbolism, that the real life experience of it just comes. Then it helps us to tune in so that we can experience it in a more
Right.
organic way. Just being sensitive to it, just being tuned in. You
Right.
know, so
Exactly.
so we're still in the middle of like a lot of shifts, a lot of
Right.
things, a lot of turmoil. People are having a really hard time. They're dealing with it in different ways. Some people are sticking their head in the sand. Some people are chanting Hare Krishna. Some people
Some people
are
think that's both the same thing.
is that. Some people are, focused on the politics of it. Some people are on, just trying to fix their lives, better their financial situation, better their, relationships. And, the theme of talking to the divine has been very active. Talking to Krishna,
Right.
if Krishna's who consider your God, or if you like Krishna,
Right.
but just talking to the divine in general. Like this has been a theme in the last few days,
Yeah.
and it's come up a lot. Like,
And to me personally, it's quite surprising the amount of people that, well, I don't want to use the word claim to be spiritual or religious, but the amount of people who identify in that sense that actually don't take the time to actually speak and have a personal relationship is kind of surprising to me, in the sense, because for me, that's always been a thing that's been really core to my being.
right,
And even if I'm mad, I'll still talk to him. If I'm sad, I still talk to him. I often do encourage people along those lines. And please just talk in some way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it's personalism, right? It's personalism. So it's developing and sharing, having a relationship. And so that's really important, to me. And so, you know, even if it's that you're angry, he still listens. And that's what we call humility. And, you know, being honest with your emotions is a very strong form of humility, because you get to see what's really going on. And I can tell you something that I feel qualified to speak about, and that's that I had a dream. It's kind of a dream, kind of a vision. And in that, I was living in India at the time, and this was about 10 years ago, or 11, close to 11 years ago. And I was living in India at the time, and I had, somebody asked a question.
oh, that's good for you.
Oh, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I am. I am. I lost about 60 pounds in the past. Thank you for the question. Yeah, I lost about 60 pounds in the last, since, when was that? Since I moved, uh, since November, since about November, I lost about 60 pounds. and I still have 60 more that I need to lose, but I'm working on it. But yeah, I'm working on it. I'm losing weight. I'm trying. I'm going through various diet patterns, and that's been helping me. I did keto for a while, um, and then what I do is I kind of cycle, and I'm this close to being. Well, yeah, I'm about this close to being the lowest I've been since 5 or 6 years. And I still want to lose about 60 more pounds, and then I'll be in a pretty good shape. But thank you for noticing that. um, so yeah, I was in India, in Mumbai, which is a very nice city, by the way. I really enjoyed that city. You been to Mumbai?
No.
That's a nice place. It's like LA of India.
Yeah, I didn't do the whole
Yeah, the West
West
Coast.
Coast.
That's the whole reason. The West Coast, the best coast.
Yeah, even astrologically, like my lines are way better on the West Coast. I wasn't paying attention to astro, and I was there for
yeah.
other things, and I didn't think about that. I didn't really understand astrocartography at that point.
Right.
So everywhere that I was, I had messed up lines.
Oh, we got somebody on YouTube too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So Rena just commented that everything's all good with the partner. I'm glad everything came to light. Good. Well, thank you for thank you for sharing. Thank you for that update because I wanted to know what happened.
Yeah, West Coast is the best coast as far as India. I mean, I might be partial, but I Gujarat's really nice. Maharashtra is really nice. Karnataka is really nice. Like the whole west side of India is.
Well, Bangalore is part of Karnataka.
Oh yeah.
I was in South India, but just on the on the east side.
Yeah, well, Bangalore is kind of like in the center. It's on a big plateau. It's a cool place, though. I want to go visit Bangalore if I go to India next time.
It's all right. It's got trash everywhere.
Oh well, it's the way it is.
That's what I can. Anyway,
so I was in Mumbai at the time. We're telling the story, and so I was chanting, and all of a sudden, I don't know if you've ever been in a state where you're kind of like in between the realm of awake and asleep. You're kind of like, when you're not awake, but you're not asleep, kind of like that. Well, I was there, and all of a sudden, I got transported to temple, and I was actually in the Lachua temple of all places, which I think is kind of how to put it.
Was it
fitting.
Dream?
This was 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
This is about 10 years ago, and I was in the Lachua temple of all places, and Krishna was sitting on the altar, except it was like, flesh and blood. So, lack of better words, Krishna. And he was sitting there, and there's a bunch of people in the temple room, and they were all wearing like masks and hoods. And Krishna looked at me, and he said, all these people, they come here, and they think that I want to see something, so they come with all this stuff. But the thing is that I don't really want that, because I can't love a mask. I can't love the cloak. I can't love this show that they put on for robes. Me. I can't love the show that they put on for me. And so I can't really love them. And then they're wondering why I'm not reciprocating. But they're the ones that are coming to me falsely. Yeah. And so this was the dream, that vision, for lack of better words, because I wasn't exactly dreaming. I wasn't exactly awake. And so it's more like a vision, and it was very. And this is what I try and tell people. And this is if a lot of people say that they're being humble, but they're not really being humble, because that requires you to open your heart and let Krishna see everything that's inside. and that people kind of don't want to do. So
Well, the rhetoric, is
yeah,
all like, only the pure devotees talk to Krishna.
right.
My guru talks to Krishna, they don't feel qualified to have a personal relationship with Krishna. What was you saying? Is August and September a good month for them? Is everything in their favor?
In whose favor?
Ananda Vrindavan, we don't know what you're asking.
It's always good for Krishna, if that's who you're asking.
Yeah,
It's good. It's good to worship. It's good to worship. I guess John Mastami, right? But things will start improving in about. Well, now we got 6, 7 days, really. 7 days, practically speaking. 6 days, like numerally. But
I wonder if we should call these videos something else, because we talk about all this other stuff, not just astrology.
yeah, that's true.
Any suggestions?
Yeah, it's fireside chat time. Real talk.
So
The Om Hint experience, right? The Om Hint experience. It's like a podcast.
What are you asking? Whoever's born in the month of August and September.
Oh,
is it a good month. What does that mean?
Oh, she wants to know if maybe the transits are good for people born in the month of August and September.
That's not. You have to look at a person's specific birthday, specific, everything. You have to look at a chart and look at the transits. Like this is not
That's too
an answerable question.
That's not an answerable question from the standpoint of giving you anything of value that we would want to give. See, because the fact of the matter is that I could just whip out some cheapo answer for you, but it's not going to be actually. I can't do that because then I would feel I was cheating you and myself, and then that would kind of not be good. I wouldn't feel comfortable giving you like half an answer or a quarter of an answer. I mean, because there's plenty of people that can give you like prefabricated, hashed answers, but I can't really do that and feel with a good conscience.
Yeah, so we talk about the nakshatra of the day, the tithi of the day. Like today, it's in Purvaphalguni. It moved into Purvaphalguni about 3 hours ago, and that has a certain energy that is, relevant to the energies that can be felt in a day. So we talk about that, and then we want to talk about it in terms of like real life. What are we experiencing? What is this good for? Stuff like that. Something that everybody can feel. And if you look at the symbolism, we posted, these flashcards, and so you can see, you can get an idea of all the different symbology of the day. Because if one thing doesn't speak to you, another thing can speak to you. And by being exposed to all the symbols, you can take that with you and see how these images maybe show up in your life. Like today, it's the eagle. Did you see any eagles today? Maybe you'll see an eagle tomorrow. I don't know. Did you ever see eagles? Are the eagles real? Potentially. A rat, because a rat is the animal.
Right.
The rat is
well,
the
it's
other
also,
animal.
the thing is with Purvaphalguni, right? So the symbol is Shiva Lingam, right? And it's Venus. Sorry, these things are reversed, mirrored images. So it's ruled by Venus, right? And then the symbols are Shiva Lingam. So and the reason that the deity is a rat, by the way, is because there's a lot of procreative energy in the atmosphere whenever it's Purvaphalguni.
Yeah.
And, this is a cosmic form of deity, right? Lord Shiva. So this is a creative energy, right? So this is the major force that's going to be activated with when you have Purvaphalguni Nakshatra, you're going to feel a very sensual energy. And a lot of passion also tends to be in the atmosphere. That's what you're going to notice tomorrow.
So that's tomorrow. So that can manifest in a lot of ways. Like the symbol is a hammock. So it's also for relaxation. It's for pampering yourself, for making yourself look beautiful, for going in the beach and laying in a hammock, or putting a hammock out in your yard and laying down in a hammock. Just the energy is good for that, and it's a way of connecting with the divine energies. Is through these symbols in your real life. And then the Tithi, which is the phase of the moon. So Tritiya is the third day from new moon.
Yep.
So new moon is 0. And now we're on the third day. And by tomorrow at 11:36 a.m., it'll be Chaturthi, which is the fourth day of the waxing moon. Getting bigger moon. Moon is getting more towards the full moon.
This is from his book. This is my book that I made. And so Tritiya is ruled by Lord Vishnu. And Chaturthi is ruled by Yamaraj. So the thing is that when Tritiya is quite good for getting things done, it has a go get 'em at kind of energy. Pratipat is good for starting things. Dvitiya is good for things that are stable and stabilizing
Pratipat
things.
Is the first day.
Pratipat is the first day. Dvitiya is the second day. Tritiya, which is right now, and it will be in for the next, 12 hours, is very good for the the go-getters. So that's passion with passion. That's some strong energy. If you're just waking up in a part of the world, the sun's just coming up now. That's today's gonna be a real go-getter kind of day. But where we are, of course, the sun's going down, so the energy shifts a little bit for us.
So it's a good time to go party.
Yeah,
Friday night.
Friday night. Some people are having fun out there. Some people are gonna have fun out there tonight. Yeah, so there's gonna be some people having fun. A lot of passion, a lot of stuff going on right now.
Until 11:36 a.m. and then it moves to Chaturthi.
Chaturthi, right? So then the fourth day that shifts the energy, and that energy is quite different. Chaturthi is ruled by Yamaraj, and when you have the combination of a very powerful deity like Lord Shiva, and then you have very powerful deity like Yama.
Yama is the
Lord of the dead. Yamaraja means the death king. Literally, if you take the words, or the king of the dead, if you, because these other languages, the grammar is different than English. But if you take Yamaraj, literally, it's the death king. Right. And then he's the lord of the dead. And so his power is very heavy. Chaturthi is a good time for elimination. Chaturthi is a time where you eliminate what's not needed. And Lord, the power of Purvaphalguni is going to shift also, because it goes from the procreative passion, which you get with Tritiya, that's going to increase right now, right? But when it shifts to Chaturthi, that's going to go from Shiva Lingam. That's going to go from Shiva Lingam creative force to Mahadeva, the destructive force.
Sorry for them over there.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding. It's like, damn.
Sorry, I'm very active with the hands. It's gonna shift from passion to very powerful, like the clearing, the cleansing, the letting go of things not needed energy. And that's the day that we're going to be doing our event.
I know. That's going to be interesting. So come, leave everything behind.
Well, see, we're alchemists. And when you're an alchemist, you know what to do with energy. and we can take that energy and make things happen.
Right. I mean, and it does go with the theme because
It's how to
it's a
life,
transformational
transformational
experience. It's about,
experience.
being the best you that you can be, and what does that mean? Shedding the old, and we're doing that, and we're inviting you to join us on that journey. Essentially, like that's what the event is about, and that's what this organization is about. Right? We
Exactly.
actively participating in the transformation, but we also chilling, on the hammock,
We do
on the
both.
couch.
Yeah.
We're also, having a nice time, you know.
Right. Exactly.
So it's a balance of the two. It's gonna be really nice food, really nice
Fun. It's gonna be fun.
music. It's
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
tell some
fun.
stories. I'm gonna tell some stories from Mahabharata about Arjuna. I have my story planned out about how to become a hero in your own life. And it's actually tied in with what we were just talking about earlier, because the only way you can be a hero really in your own life is if you get empowered by the heroic force. And there's nobody that wants to be a hero more in your life than Bhagawan. That's his mood. That's what he enjoys.
Bhagavan means Lord.
The Lord. No one wants to be a hero more in your life than the Lord. And when you let him be a hero in your life, and also the other thing that's important, well, I'm giving you the preview. I don't think everyone's going to be there, so I can give a little preview. The other thing that's important is understanding that when you look at the world in a realistic way, you understand that you only have so much strength yourself. But when you become a channel or a conduit, you become like a flute. You empty yourself out. Krishna, who we're using Krishna as an example because he's very dear to us, and it's very easy for us to try and communicate very esoteric things with him because there's a lot of esoteric stuff involved. So the thing is that who is always with Krishna? Always. There's two things that he loves, and they're always with him: the flute and the feather.
Right.
So the feather is always on his head. He put it on his head. And the flute he always carries on his sash. He's always putting his lips on the flute, playing the flute's a person too. And the peacock feather too. The peacock feather was given by the king of the peacocks. And the peacocks, they don't own much. So all they could give was just their little feather. And so Krishna was so heartfelt that they just gave the little feather that he keeps it on his head. And then the flute's empty. The flute is empty. And so when you become like that flute, you just allow the melody coming from Krishna to come through you. Then you have unlimited power because the one that's putting that through you has unlimited power. And you have unlimited strength and unlimited everything because you're not the one that's doing it. It's a force which is so much bigger than you is channeling that power through you.
So we're part of the bigger thing. It's not separate to us. We're a drop, and the bigger thing is we're a drop of water, and then the bigger thing, Krishna, the universe, the divine, God, Jesus, is the ocean.
Right.
Say that. So we are part of that, and that's part of us. It's not separate.
So it's actually it's natural for us to do that channeling.
Yeah. So I mean, we're different beings, so we can have this relationship. I am this, he's that, But at the same time, the significance is that we are part of it. So it's our inherent right to have a relationship with that thing that we're part of. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty. It's like we all know it, but somehow so many devotees don't think that they're entitled to it. But I've been asking devotees. I've been asking them about why they don't talk to Krishna. People have all kinds of reasons why they don't, and fear. Also, his personality. Not everybody likes his personality. Like
I can
he's
understand
an
that to some
acquired
degree.
taste. Like he's super cheeky. He's tricky. He doesn't exactly keep his word. Like he. I mean, he keeps his word as far as everything he says in Bhagavad Gita, but he might he might it's like in a tricky way. Like people think that it means that, oh, he's gonna do everything I want him to do. Like he
Right,
said, like
right.
he's here to serve you, or he's here to serve me, and it's not quite that way. Like
It's
it's a
kind of like,
collaborative effort. Like he's
mhm,
gonna do things for us for sure, but he's gonna be more into doing it if we're doing something that serves him, because it's the Krishna show.
right,
It's not the Sudeivi show.
or the Juggy show.
It's his show. So we are characters in his show, her in his show, Radha Krishna.
Right,
So I reference Krishna more because my direct communication is more with him. To me, she's more in her own world, enjoying with Krishna, or being with Krishna, being in his world, and I'm operating in the world, and he's, being the hero. So in a lot of ways in my everyday life, I feel a lot more like Mahabharat. Like I relate a lot to Draupadi and her whole experience, and even her relationship with Krishna, where she sees him as a friend, doesn't even see him as like a lover or nothing like that, just sees him like a friend who helps her when she needs him the most. And so, even though he's not always going to change things, obviously she saved her when she needed him the most with the whole sorry thing. Um, you guys, if you don't know that, we'll talk about it. But like
yeah.
that thing. Um, but just like advice that brings a peace to deal with this world, you know. So it's not that we're gonna have heaven on earth necessarily. Like I don't. People say that. I mean, it's possible. Well, there's like the golden age thing.
Yeah,
It could get a
it's
lot
still the
better.
earth.
It could get a lot
Yeah.
better, but like, what does that mean? Like, is all the suffering gonna end? Are all the assholes gonna die and fall off the face of the earth? And like everybody live in peace and share everything? Is that gonna happen? Maybe.
Well, we're in the shifting time right now.
Right.
We're in the shift.
So who's to say? Like, I don't. I'm. It's. I don't anticipate that. I anticipate that this is a place that is half suffering, half enjoying, half good, half bad.
Sukha and dukkha.
Sukha dukkha.
That's the stuff
Right.
that that's like the sun and the water makes the plant grow.
But Krishna can give that peace to make it so that we are playing in his playground, even in this shitty place. Because it's with everything we see going around us, it's
I always give
it's
the
rough.
I always give the example like of I recognize it most from my fathering for my baby when I see about the relationship basically between, how I see, because, when the baby's crawling and the baby wants to like grab all the sweets and just shove it in its mouth, and you're like, no, no, you can't do that. You got to eat something healthy too. And then the baby crawls over the stairs and like wants to like jump down, and you got to like make sure it doesn't do stupid things. And so the thing is that we want to do certain things and then they don't happen, and then we're like, ah, damn, but we don't see everything, so he kind of watches us out too. And then the other example that's similar that I like to think about, or kind of my experience of the way that it is, it's oftentimes if you're a guest, or when you were a child and there was a guest in the home, the guest, you give all the sweets that they want, right? Like
Right.
they can eat all the food that they want. You're not The parent never tells them, no, no, you shouldn't eat that. But the kid, if the kid wants to eat just the same, they're like, no, no, you have to eat this and you have to eat that.
Right.
So it's the same way, like with the people that are his devotees versus people that really kind of aren't, in a sense, or don't recognize, let's say. And them, they pray, oh, give me, give me, give me. And then he's like, sure, take all you want. But then other people that are a little bit closer, then he'll be like, okay, you know what, I got to make sure that you eat healthy because you're under my care.
Right. And I have experienced that for sure, where he, doesn't give me what I want, and it makes me mad at the moment, or at for a while, it takes things away, but then it's like, okay, it was a bigger picture that I was, leading up to, and you know, there is something that knows better than us. It's something to keep in mind. And Purvaphalguni, it's good to remember that. I mean, it's good to remember that any day.
Right.
But I would say that the energy is open to that, you know. And yeah, so I don't know if we're gonna do an update tomorrow because we gotta prepare for the thing. And
yeah, this is kind of more like a Monday to Friday kind of thing. If it's a weekend, if you get us on the weekend, then it's lucky.
yeah, it's probably more like a Tuesday to Friday thing.
Yeah, right.
Mondays
Tuesday.
are also maybe.
Yeah, we get Monday off
Mondays
for Mahadev.
regrouping, and
Yeah.
the moon, and it's more like we do internal stuff. We do meet as a team and stuff like that. And what else? Anything else?
I think we covered everything that we were supposed to.
All right. Well, sounds good. Okay, you guys, thank you for watching, and we will see you again soon. Radhe Radhe.
Radhe.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Har Har Mahadev.
Bye. Namaste.